The 2026 NBA draft is already generating comparisons to some of the greatest draft classes in league history, and for good reason. Scouts, executives, and analysts continue to describe it as one of the deepest collections of elite talent the NBA has seen in many years. Several experts believe the top 4 prospects each possess enough ability to be selected first overall in an average draft, making the competition between them unusually close. While it is still far too early to predict which player will eventually build the greatest career, the Rookie of the Year race is already becoming one of the league's biggest storylines. At this point, Caleb Wilson sits fourth in that conversation. That ranking may surprise many fans because his summer league debut looked like the arrival of an instant superstar. However, history has shown that one spectacular exhibition game is rarely enough to accurately predict an entire NBA season. Summer league often creates excitement, but the regular season presents a completely different level of speed, preparation, and defensive intensity. Wilson immediately became the center of attention after delivering one of the most unforgettable summer league performances in recent memory. He poured in 35 points, knocked down 7 three-pointers, rejected 7 shots, and controlled both ends of the floor with remarkable confidence. The stat line alone was extraordinary, but the way he produced those numbers was even more impressive. Instead of relying on easy baskets around the rim, Wilson confidently attacked defenders from every area of the floor. He drilled catch-and-shoot jumpers, created his own offense off the dribble, pulled up in transition, and calmly buried difficult shots that most scouts never expected to see from him this early in his professional career. Every possession seemed to build his confidence even further. Rather than looking like a rookie hoping to survive his first professional game, he carried himself like a veteran who believed he belonged on the biggest stage from the opening tip. The most shocking part of his breakout performance was how dramatically it differed from the player evaluators watched throughout college. During his final college season, Wilson attempted only about 1 three-pointer per game and converted just 26% of those attempts. His outside shot was consistently viewed as one of the biggest weaknesses in his scouting report. Teams praised his athleticism, defense, and versatility, but questioned whether he would ever become a reliable perimeter scorer. Then, in a single summer league game, he completely flipped that narrative. He showed no hesitation launching shots from deep, looked comfortable creating separation, and never appeared worried about missing. That confidence immediately sparked debate across the basketball world. Some observers believe NBA coaching unlocked a skill that had always been hidden. Others argue it was simply one unforgettable shooting night that should not be overanalyzed. The truth likely falls somewhere between those two extremes, and only months of regular season basketball will reveal which version is correct. Regardless of how his shooting develops, Wilson already possesses qualities that give him an opportunity to become an impact player. Defense has always been considered the strongest part of his game, and those skills should translate immediately to the NBA. His combination of size, quickness, length, and athleticism allows him to guard multiple positions, switch on to smaller guards, recover against faster players, and protect the rim without sacrificing mobility. He consistently plays with energy, competes for loose balls, challenges every shot, and refuses to take possessions off. Those habits earn trust from coaches very quickly. Many rookies struggle because they cannot defend well enough to stay on the floor, but Wilson enters the league with defensive tools that should keep him involved even when his offense has quiet nights. That gives him a much higher floor than many young prospects entering the NBA. Chicago may have found exactly the type of modern forward every franchise wants to build around. If his perimeter shooting becomes even average, opponents will be forced to respect him away from the basket, creating driving lanes and opening the floor for teammates. If the shooting continues improving beyond expectations, Wilson suddenly becomes far more than a defensive specialist. He becomes a complete two-way weapon capable of scoring efficiently, defending elite players, blocking shots, rebounding, finishing fast breaks, and creating momentum-changing plays on both ends of the floor. Those are the kinds of players who eventually become all-stars and franchise cornerstones. For a rebuilding organization searching for its next face of the franchise, that possibility alone makes his development one of the league's most fascinating stories. Still, there are legitimate reasons to remain cautious despite all the excitement. NBA history is filled with summer league stars who struggled once the regular season began. Defense has become smarter, Scouting reports become more detailed, and opposing coaches spend countless hours identifying weaknesses. Veteran defenders will quickly test whether Wilson's outside shooting is truly sustainable or simply the result of one incredible afternoon. They will force him into difficult decisions, pressure him physically, and challenge every aspect of his offensive game. Maintaining confidence after opponents adjust is often the hardest challenge for young players. That mental battle separates future stars from short-term sensations. Wilson's performance also raises important questions about player development. Young athletes often make enormous improvements after entering professional organizations because they receive full-time coaching, advanced training programs, nutrition support, film study, and skill development that simply are not available at the college level. It is entirely possible that Wilson spent months rebuilding his shooting mechanics behind closed doors before ever stepping onto a summer league court. Fans only witness the finished product, not the thousands of practice shots that may have transformed one of his biggest weaknesses into a legitimate strength. If that is the case, scouts may have underestimated his offensive ceiling throughout the draft process. For now, placing Wilson fourth in the Rookie of the Year race remains a reasonable position. His upside is undeniable, but the other top rookies also enter the season with proven offensive production larger. Before Summer League, very few people believed Caleb Wilson had this kind of offensive ceiling. Scouts expected an athletic defender who could protect the rim, run the floor, and make winning plays without demanding the basketball. Instead, he introduced himself as a player capable of taking over a game. While his scoring grabbed headlines, what may matter even more is the mindset behind it. Wilson doesn't think like someone hoping to survive his rookie season. He talks like someone expecting to dominate it. When reporters asked what kind of rookie campaign he envisioned, he answered without hesitation that he expected to win Rookie of the Year. There was no joking, no hesitation, and no attempt to lower expectations. That confidence immediately stood out because most first-year players spend media day talking about learning the game, earning minutes, or adjusting to the NBA. Wilson skipped all of that. His goal was clear from day one. He believes he belongs with the very best young players in basketball. That confidence is backed by an unusually competitive personality. Wilson openly acknowledged that the draft's biggest names, including A.J. Dybantsa, Darren Peterson, and Cameron Boozer, may currently receive more attention, but he has no intention of staying behind them. He pointed out that he has already competed against those players and believes the results speak for themselves. Instead of avoiding comparisons, he welcomes them. His attitude suggests that every matchup is personal. Every challenge is another opportunity to prove he deserves to be mentioned alongside the biggest stars in class. Coaches often say talent gets players into the league, but relentless competitiveness keeps them there. Wilson appears determined to outwork everyone standing between him and the top of the rookie class. His mentality was shaped by adversity long before he reached the NBA. During college, Wilson suffered a broken hand that temporarily took basketball away from him. Instead of trying to forget that difficult period, he chose to remember it every single day. He kept a picture of the injury as the wallpaper on his phone as a constant reminder of what it felt like to be unable to play the game he loves. He also reportedly keeps a list of players he wants to outperform, using that list as daily motivation. Those habits reveal an athlete who constantly searches for ways to stay hungry rather than becoming comfortable. Even after exploding for 35 points in his summer league debut, Wilson barely celebrated his personal performance. His first concern was that Chicago lost a game. That reaction tells coaches exactly what they want to hear. Statistics matter, but winning matters more. Players with that mindset often earn trust much faster than talented scorers focused only on individual numbers. Chicago may also provide the perfect environment for Wilson's development. Josh Giddey thrives in transition and has built his reputation on finding athletic teammates with accurate long-distance passes. Wilson and Mattis Buzelis should become dangerous targets running the floor, creating easy scoring opportunities before defenses get set. Veteran scorer Norman Powell gives the Bulls another reliable offensive weapon who can create shots when possessions slow down. On defense, Nicholas Claxton provides rim protection and experience, allowing Wilson to play aggressively without carrying the entire defensive burden himself. Suddenly, Chicago has assembled one of the league's youngest, fastest, and most athletic groups. If everything comes together, The Bulls could surprise many teams simply because of their pace, energy, and defensive versatility. Wilson's role in that process could become enormous. His ability to guard multiple positions, block shots, rebound, and finish in transition already makes him valuable. If his outside shooting continues improving, his impact could grow dramatically. Defenders would no longer be able to ignore him on perimeter, opening driving lanes and making Chicago's offense much more difficult to defend. His development may ultimately determine whether the Bulls remain a rebuilding team or become a legitimate playoff contender much sooner than expected. That is why many believe he has one of the highest ceilings in the entire draft class, even if his Rookie of the Year chances currently trail a few other elite prospects. Moving one spot higher in the Rookie of the Year race brings us to the first overall pick, A.J. Dybantsa. Ranking him third is not a criticism of his long-term future. In fact, many evaluators still believe Dybantsa possesses the highest overall ceiling in the entire draft. If his development follows expectations, he could eventually become the best player from this class. The reason he sits third in the Rookie of the Year conversation is simply because immediate production and long-term potential are not always the same thing. Some young stars require time to adjust physically and mentally before everything begins clicking at the professional level. Dybantsa's Summer League debut showed exactly why scouts remain so excited about his future. He finished with 27 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, demonstrating the all-around talent that made him the first overall selection. Those numbers are impressive for any rookie, but the efficiency told a different story. He shot just 7 for 18 from the field and missed all 5 of his three-point attempts. Unlike some of the other top rookies, many of his baskets came through extraordinary shot-making rather than clean offensive execution. He created difficult finishes through contact, converted awkward off-balance jumpers, and found ways to score even after defenders disrupted his rhythm. Those plays showcase incredible natural talent, but they also highlighted areas where refinement is still needed. There were moments when his ball handling, first step, and physical strength did not fully work together against NBA-level defenders. Instead of creating easy driving lanes, he often found himself forced into heavily contested shots. Fortunately for Dybantsa, those difficult baskets still went in often enough to remind everyone why scouts view him as a future superstar. His ability to score under pressure cannot be taught. However, Rookie of the Year winners usually combine talent with efficiency, and that is the area where Dybantsa still has room to grow. As he becomes stronger, improves his outside shooting, and learns how to create cleaner scoring opportunities, his offensive game should become much more complete.